Hello, welcome to this second video in my devlog where we're creating like a Spider-Man or Attack on Titan locomotion mechanic where we want to throw what I'm calling silk lines. So like very strong ropes or something like that, and then your player is going to like swing or be pulled like on a zip line to that location. And last video we were coding away and we're almost finished the code and we just wanted to test it to get the main mechanic kind of working. So we've got this code, just in case you've jumped into the second video. This code is attached to, if I go in my scene, this sphere, and this sphere has the code silk line, and it's communicating with the subject's transform and the camera that's attached to the subject. The subject is my name for player, and this is a VR application. So it's communicating to those two like transform and game objects and whatever. But it's all this mechanic and this script is organized and kept tidy by being isolated to this one game object, this sphere. And this sphere is the thing that the player sees like a crosshair, kind of like a target shooting off into the distance and then colliding with whatever you're looking at directly. So it's like a moving crosshair. And then what I want to happen, we haven't tested this bit yet, is when you tilt your head on the z-axis, your left ear to your left shoulder, then it will throw or trigger the silk line rope thing to be thrown, and then you'll be pulled towards that, and that is really, really good fun in VR. So back to the code. In this function check silking, this is the actual translate kinematic algorithm to move the player, and this will happen in every update loop. So if silking, my subject, translate, so that's the player, translate, we need a trajectory times the silk speed times time dot delta time, that just smooths out the time. And it looks like all of these variables I haven't actually made up at the top. And then we want to kind of accelerate towards the anchor point, I'm calling it. So I've got an acceleration variable there, and we need like the current speed, we need a max speed on that as well. So let's go and make those. It's a nice easy job to get started. So we want private float, I think all of these are going to be float, silk speed, that's going to start off as 0, then we want private float max speed, I have no idea what this is going to be, let's just put 1 for now. Private float acceleration, let's put 0.1 f. Let's just comment these up. Properties of the what do we call it, like the movement mechanic. I just remembered to have a look at the time. What is it? 10 to 8. So I want to keep this video within 30 minutes or 30 minutes. 33 minutes will be maximum. Okay, so now I've just got to do some maths. If it's 10 to, it could be 20 past when I need to finish. Okay, maybe a bit before 20. We'll call it quarter past. Quarter past must be finished. Okay, and we needed traj. So trajectory of silk line swing slash flight. Private, that's going to be a vector 3. What do I call it? Traj, my trajectory. And we'll just set that to vector 3 0, which is just shorthand for writing a new vector 3 and calling each of its components 0 0 0. Okay, so an important job is to work out what this trajectory is. So it looks like now the code, all the red squiggly lines have gone, so it looks like we've covered all the variables that we need to here. So right, in check toggle, so this is checking has the, I should put this in a comment actually, has the subject tilted their head left? There we go. Switch on silking mode. So I haven't worried about yet toggling off silk mode and things like that. We just want to, which I think I'm going to do with a tilt of the right to the right, so you can like cut the line. And also we need the condition, if we've hit the anchor point, then silking needs to be turned off. Right, so we set the anchor point. Set anchor point. And now we want to calculate trajectory of swing / flight. So that's going to be, what do we call it? Traj equals you basically want the trajectory from our player's position to the hit point. And I think I just minus the one vector from the other. So do I just do something like this? Equals anchor point minus the player's position. And then maybe normalize it. So it just has a magnitude of 1. There we go. I think we're ready to test it. Okay. Let's just save, go through my OCD, saving everything. Just got a few errors. I think it's just the editor catching up with integrating the code that we've updated there. Let's just wait for that message at the bottom to go. I apologise if you can't see the message from the console. I think I've got it on the screen here. That should disappear. Right, okay, so press play. Here we go. So I'll start in walk mode. Oh, this will be working. We can do the silk throw thing in any mode that we're in. Whoa. Okay, let's try and fly up to that mountain. I guess it'll be swung up to that mountain. So I tilt my head left. That's a problem. We've switched on walk mode. Auto. Ah. I can see that's working. Okay, we want to be in... Okay. Sorry. What's happening there is that when I'm in walk mode, tilting your head to the left will toggle on auto walk or toggle off auto walk, and you can do slow walk by tilting the other way. So I just want to be in silk mode where there's no walking going on. But I've just got silk mode kind of on all the time. So to to switch into a different locomotive mode, you just look down. So there's flight. It's quite fun. In fact, while we're in flight mode, we can go and let's go here. This is quite a nice place to test our silking. Oh, that's a sledge. And silk line mode, right. Interesting, I can still hear engine noises. Anyway. Yes, as I tilt my head, we're getting pulled towards that that direction. So the silk line's working, but not with as nearly as much speed as we need. So acceleration, let's just increase that by 10, increase the maximum speed by 10. And what I think we might need to do, I think I mentioned this in the first video, is increase the drag to our player, to our subject, so that it's a bit like being underwater for when we're swinging, and then when we hit the anchor point, then turn on again. It'll be really important to turn on the ordinary drag. So we can record the drag at the start of the game, so we don't have to fiddle around with any numbers, and then just revert to that originally stored amount. Can I just pause and manually put us in the different modes? So subject, locomotive mode, let's put us in, is it 4? Should be in silk line mode now. Anyway, auto drive. Well, we are being dragged anyway, but I think I'm in the wrong mode. Let's just go back to the code here. Silk mode is 5. Okay. So start off in silk mode, then I don't have to toggle through things, although it was a nice chance to show you the locomotive modes and how to toggle through them. I am going to have like some kind of menu, I think would be better, where you can bring up the menu by looking down, and then you could like use your yaw movement like that with your head to kind of cycle through different things. Okay, let's go up to that mountain. Where is the I lost him. Oh, that's cool, yeah. I don't know if you can see, but gravity is kind of like winning the battle. But yeah, acceleration, I'm pretty happy with the acceleration. So let's just go back to our silk line script. Let's increase that. Oh, let's add it, the Douglas Adams number, 42. Yeah, that's the answer. Right, let's turn on, let's fiddle around with the drag. So, silking is true. Then we're going to say set drag for swing light. So we're going to say my subjects. Now I need to get hold of its rigid body. Get component rigid body. Drag equals, I don't know, something like 4. But what I want to go and do is just check that the subject has got a rigid body. Yeah, there's a subject, there's a rigid body, and the drag is currently at 0.5. So if we put it to 4, that'll be fine. Okay, check toggle. Let's just see if that works. Just struggling to get back to the editor here. What's going on? I guess the next job that we want to do is create the line itself, render the line using a line renderer. Whoa. So because it's kinematic, we can be dragged through mountainsides. Oof. What will be really important is, oh, this is going to be really fun. In VR, what's going to be really important, I think, is stopping the zip line. Oh, that's going to be so much fun when you're going over like mountains and valleys, and you kind of like look down. Whoa. Okay, pretty successful. Right, so what I want to write really is to check have we hit the anchor point. Check silking. So what we want to first do is have we arrived at the anchor point? If so, turn off silking and reset drag of subject, etc. Okay, so if my subject's position minus anchor point I kind of want the magnitude of that, don't I? Right, okay. Okay, so I want to float. Oh, wait a minute, isn't there a distance function already in Unity? So if I use vector3 dot distance, yeah, I might be able to do square root distance as well. It'll be faster. Square magnitude. There we go. I can say is less than, I don't know, 4. And do that. Right, I'm using square magnitude instead of just saying the distance, finding the distance between these two, because square magnitude is a faster operation for the computer to run through. It wouldn't make a difference really on this application, I think, but although I am working with VR and mobile, so as much optimization is as I can do is good, and it's probably good practice, and if it works, it works. So I'm basically saying, hopefully, if we're in some kind of close range to the anchor point, then cut off the silking thing. So we want to say silking equals false, and we want to say my subject drag get component rigid body drag equals original drag. So we want to go and make that variable at the top somewhere. original drag amount of subject, private float redrag, and we want to set that first here. Chord original drag of subject redrag equals my subject. I need to copy and paste all of this, but let's write it out. Rigid body drag, which will be 0.5. Let's just put e.g. 0.5. Okay, so we need to reference that at some point. How am I doing for time? I've got about 9 minutes. That's not bad. So check toggle blah blah. So check silking. Silk speed we want to say is 0. Silk speed equals 0. And I kind of also want to do that when we start silking. I don't know, because I'm just trying to imagine, like, you're swinging, and then say you swing really fast, then you shoot a new one. Kind of should. Would you want to carry on at the same speed or not? I'm going to put it like that anyway. If starting new line, start from slow speed, maybe maintaining current silk speed though would be more enjoyable. Maybe it would. There's a little question for my future self. Right. Yeah, before we go and test again, I'm very eager to test again. I just want to maybe be able to snap the silk line. So let's just have a look in my locomotion script. Oh yeah, the inject toggle for rotating the head the other way. There we go. Has the subject tilted their head right? So it's only like 10 degrees from like 360 or 0. Maybe that'd be annoying if you accidentally cut, but at the same time, there's balance. If you're also doing like a VR application and you're thinking about controlling with just the head, you can't ask the player to do extreme tilts of the head and to have to keep doing that, because that could cause them injury or at least discomfort. But also you don't want things to happen when they move their head a tiny amount. So I've found like I've got quite a weak little pencil neck, so if it's okay for me, it's going to be okay for most people. So I'm like, you want to tilt like slightly, but enough that it's more than what you would usually do. But so you want a balance. All I'm saying is you want a balance between moving enough so you don't set things off accidentally, like cut a silk line as you're going over a great valley. You don't want to accidentally move your head as you're looking around at the scenery and then find yourself falling. But also you don't want to have to work if you're doing something a lot. And you might be cutting the silk line quite a lot, so I don't know. So 10 degrees, we'll start it off like that. This number doesn't matter too much. That's like within the range. I could put that up to 0 or something. Anyway, I might do it a little bit more. Let's try that's less. 45 and just some safe there. Right, how's that tilt the head? Right. Cut the silk line. Basically, I want to do these 3 things. So let's make a dedicated function for that. Cut silk. Cut silk. And we'll put it here. Void cut silk. There we go. Right, let's see if this works. I've got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes of this devlog to go, and I won't have time to make the line renderer, I don't think, in 3 minutes, because that's something I'm not as familiar with. Like raycasting and the stuff that I've done in this video, I'm fairly familiar with. But the line renderer, I don't know why, I just find it weird. You've got to set the end point and the start point as an array. Oh, I suppose you don't have to store it as an array. Right. Yeah, not silking. Now we are silking. I didn't move my head enough. So I definitely need the sound of wind rushing past your ears as this happens. Oh, we're also testing silk stopping. That did not work. Okay, that worked. So we can cut the line. Oh, right, I've storage space. Oof, we're just hitting the wall there. Now, that means either it's like physics still being affected by our trajectory. I don't think it's that. It didn't feel like physics at all. It's this. This equation is wrong. Also, I do want to say return. Because if we've hit that point, we don't want to be silking anymore. Let's just see. Vector 3 square magnitude, if is less than 4. I want to get that. Let's just see what the value of that is. Debug log. Let's make a little log. Dist from hit point equals plus that number Okay, so that'll spit out to the console how close I am to, or this square magnitude calculation to the console. This is why you should pay attention to vector maths. Because I don't want to revert to the less efficient kind of like distance, or a simpler calculation function, vector3.distance. Right. That's interesting. It's telling us what our distance from the hit point is. Whoa. So it's about 200 when we hit. About 200, okay. So I clearly don't know what I'm doing here. Right. Let's say less than 200. 242 obviously. Douglas Adams. And let's just do that again. Yeah, silk mat, I was just thinking, should you be able to like silk when you're driving or when you're flying or when you're walking, but it is a way of flying really, and it's kind of a way of walking as well. You can drag yourself along the ground using a silk line. Definitely have to improve the look of the ball. Maybe just attach a light or something flat. Kind of judders as well, which is not nice. Right, distance. Okay, that stopped. Let's try 1,000. So there is a problem. If we for whatever reason don't get within this like sphere, this range of our hit point, like if we're swinging underneath or get hit over, then the trajectory will yet pull us through mountainsides and things. Yeah, we can't just set our... That's pretty close. You can't just set our range too large, else... I guess what I could do, else we'll just stop silking when we get nowhere near really to the anchor point. So what I'm going to do, I think, if we collide with something, if the subject collides with something, then we'll just turn off silking. Yeah. That would be a better solution. So, it's now almost 20 past, so went a little bit over there. Thank you very much for watching. I might make another one, especially if you put a comment and want me to continue, because I'll do the line renderer, tweak this condition for when we need to stop silking, probably using a on collision enter, is it called? On collider enter, something like that. Yeah, and I'm going to go and build this application and get into a VR headset because I can't wait to silk around. That's going to be nice. Right, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy.